The king's pawn, classic. Always a solid way to stake your claim. Your opponent's gone Sicilian, huh? Buckle up, it's gonna be a fight. The Sicilian, you're already trying to be fancy, huh? Not bad. Your opponent left their pawn hanging? Looks like it's free. Take it. Free pawn, my favorite kind. Looks like your opponent made a boo-boo and left a free pawn. Grab it. Free pawn, don't mind if I do. Oh wait, I'm not playing. Good job. Your opponent stopped the check from your bishop. Clever, clever. Oh no, you missed a way to develop a knight and attack the center. By playing this, you let your opponent recapture and activate a queen at the same time. Your opponent's recapture develops their queen. Standard stuff. That's a miss. You had a better way to develop a knight and attack the center. Moving the same piece again, not very efficient, I must say. They missed a better move. Developing the knight and attacking the center, good stuff. They are threatening to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This basically hands your opponent the chance to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. They missed a chance to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. That kicked bishop has to move. Good job winning some space. Your opponent exchanged pieces of equal value. Now what? You used the recapture to develop another queen. Very nice. Another piece for your opponent joins the board. Developing and winning a tempo, you love to see it. They missed a chance to move a queen to safety. You allowed the opponent to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. They missed a chance to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. Allowing your opponent to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. Looks like your opponent's going to win material now that they've captured your pawn. Bummer. You recaptured. A straightforward recapture, huh? Okay, nothing too crazy there. Good recapture. They just recaptured. Simple stuff. Let's see what happens next. You're threatening to win a pawn by kicking a key defender. Mistake by your opponent, you can win a pawn. Their loss, your gain. Finally, some action. Make that rook move away. Putting their rook on a safer square? I guess so. Nothing too exciting there, mate. Free pawn, the best kind. They stopped your attack to save their rook? Fine, fine. Free pawn? Yes, please. There were worse moves, but also something much better. Controlling the open file with your rook, good move. Let's see how you use it. Their king stepped out of the check of your rook. Standard king stuff, eh? Smart move. You found a safer square for your bishop. Your opponent brings their last piece into play. All right. Everyone's in the game now. Solid enough, I guess. Could be worse. The best move, simple as that.
Smart move, getting that pawn to safety like a boss.
Oh, they snapped up your hanging pawn. Easy pickings for your opponent, I guess. Doubled rooks. Good stuff, good teamwork. Thumbs up for this one. Excellent move. You found the best option. King steps away from the check by your rook. I guess that's one way to deal with it. You offered a trade. Not bad, not bad. They moved their rook to safety. Well, not exciting, but important. An even trade. A straightforward recapture, huh? Okay, nothing too crazy there. Not bad, but not great either. Fork incoming. You're about to lose your pawn. Bad times. Smart move. You found a safer square for your rook. Their better move was to attack a pawn chain. Fair trade, I suppose. They are threatening to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. Good thinking. Your bishop has a better position now. Putting their rook on a safer square? I guess so. Nothing too exciting there, mate. That's a solid block. Keeping your pieces safe is key. Your opponent is making a fair trade. Standard. Doubling those pawns isn't great. Weak pawn structure is now a thing. Capturing your pawn, huh? Looks like your opponent's gonna win material after all the trades. Bummer. Logical recapture. They just recaptured. Simple stuff. Let's see what happens next. Very nice. Their king stepped out of the check of your rook. Standard king stuff, eh? Waking up the king finally. Let's see some action. A solid choice. Not bad, but could be better. I've seen worse though, trust me. Your opponent is keeping an eye on your passed pawn. Can you handle that, huh? Excellent move. King steps away from the check by your rook. I guess that's one way to deal with it. Excellent move. Top marks. Their king stepped out of the check of your rook. Standard king stuff, eh? It's okay, I guess. Could be worse. King steps away from the check by your rook. I guess that's one way to deal with it. Pushing that passed pawn. Keep rolling. Excellent move. Good job getting out of check. Staying alive is always step one. Solid move. Smart move. Gotta keep the king safe. Not the best move. There was something much better. This gives your opponent the green light to force isolated doubled pawns. Now you have to have isolated doubled pawns, which ruins their structure. That recapture was a logical move. Textbook. Slipping away from that check. Nice. So your opponent has a losing position? It's gone downhill for them. Bad times, eh? Good, you moved your king out of check. Not a mistake, but not the best move either. Standard. Not exactly a game changer, but hey, at least it doesn't hurt you much. Not the best move, too bad. The defender is gone. Your pawn is hanging. Oops. They took your free pawn. A gift is a gift, I suppose. Excellent move. That's the one. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Free pawn, my favorite kind. Oh, your opponent is now in a losing position? Someone didn't see that coming, did they? There was only one good move. How did you miss that? Their king stepped out of the check of your rook. Standard king stuff, eh? You allowed the opponent to win a rook through an eventual skewer. They missed a chance to win a rook through an eventual skewer. That's how you handle a tough spot. Well played. Smart. Gotta block those checks. They moved their rook to safety? Well, not exciting, but important. Push that passed pawn all the way to the end. Get that promotion. King steps away from the check by your pawn. I guess that's one way to deal with it. You offered a trade. They missed a chance to move a rook to safety. Only one good move and you missed it. Ouch. They missed a better way to evade the check from the opposing rook. That's what I'm talking about. Clutch move under pressure. Capturing your rook, huh? Looks like your opponent's gonna win material after all the trades. Bummer. Good recapture. A straightforward recapture, huh? Okay, nothing too crazy there. Zugzwang. That's when any move your opponent makes hurts them. The best move, simple as that. This shuts down their attempt to gain opposition to secure a draw. Textbook. Very nice. Thumbs up for this one. One step closer to promoting that passed pawn. Keep pushing. A solid choice. That passed pawn is getting dangerously close to promotion. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. That passed pawn is looking dangerous. One step closer. Excellent move. You've promoted your pawn to a queen. Nice work. The best move, simple as that. Excellent move. Thumbs up for this one. Excellent move, top marks. King steps away from the check by your queen. I guess that's one way to deal with it. Very nice. A solid choice. Excellent move. Just like what I would have played. Not the best move. You missed a chance to punish your opponent's mistake. Stay focused. That was an unfortunate error, missing a much better move. Excellent move. That's how you play chess. Textbook. Steady now. Checkmate is still on track. Excellent move. Keeping the pressure on. I like your style. I guess that was the only move they had. Well, that's chess, I guess. Keeping the pressure on. I like it. Getting closer to checkmate. Okay, your opponent found the only move. Congrats to them. You're still pushing for checkmate, eh? I see what you're doing. I guess that was the only move they had. Well, that's chess, I guess. Staying focused, I see. Checkmate is getting closer. Okay, your opponent found the only move. Congrats to them. Checkmate's coming. This is just the strongest option. Very precise. Keeping the pressure on. I like your style. You're still on the road to checkmate. Their king stepped out of the check of your queen. Standard king stuff, eh? Good game. Congrats on the victory.